What if I told you that you never truly left the womb? Most of us walk around like orphans, having completely forgotten the only mother that never let us go, the mother that makes a family out of all of us. Stay tuned to find out how this is true and why this is actually the biggest health secret that you've never heard of. Think about it. Before even our first breath, before we knew hunger or touch or light, we floated in water. The amniotic ocean cradled us, bathed us, sang through the vibrations of our mother's heartbeat, her voice, her breathing. And although we emerged into this bubble of air within the firmament that we call incarnation, we never actually left water's womb. Because water, the great mother of us all, still surrounds and suffuses us. And unlike our terrestrial human mother, we are never severed from water. We're still nested within her body, still gestating within her hydrological embrace. The oceans, the aquifers, the rivers are her arterial flow. The rains are her milk. We are carried in her body as surely as the fetus is carried within the womb, as surely as our bodies are made of water. This truth is inescapable. Our planet, our biome, and our bodies are water. We are still and forever within water's womb. Everywhere we turn, water breathes life into us. Even the air itself, moist with water's breath, enters our lungs and makes possible the miracle of respiration. Without atmospheric water vapor and humidity, no inhalation could sustain it. The ocean, our blood plasma, cerebral spinal fluid through which our consciousness is channeled, the amniotic fluid from which our bodies emerged. These all contain the same ratios of sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and other minerals and ions. The primordial soup from which all of life arose still lives within us. Are we, as humans, even aware of the water that we are? Or have we, like fish, become so entranced by the currents of our own internal oceanic terrain that we've forgotten water's primacy, water's power, water's profound role in orchestrating every function of our ecosystems and our aquatic bodies? As Dr. Emoto said, understanding that we are essentially water is the key to unraveling the mysteries of the universe. This deceptively simple yet astonishingly profound truth, once allowed to permeate the hardened membranes of our mechanistic Western thinking, has the power to overturn centuries of reductionist biology and awaken in us the realization that the human organism is not a static machine of flesh and bone, but a living, breathing, dynamically coherent crystalline water organism, a part of the whole oneness of life with meandering rivers and spiraling streams and pulsing tides that mirror and are mirrored by the grand hydrological cycles of the earth. And this recognition lies at the heart of what I call Holo-Biology or Hydrobiology. It's a discipline and a devotion that perceives life as a luminous tapestry of water, energy, vibration, and form, where each molecule is both a messenger and a memory of the primordial seas, and where every watershed of the earth is mirrored as a watershed of the human body. Every hydrological cycle in the outer environment has a corresponding hydrological cycle in the inner environment. Volumetrically, I'm sure you've heard the human body is about 70% water. But on a molecular level, we're each 99.92% water molecules, meaning almost every molecule in our body is water. Every molecule within us hums with the memory of these primordial oceans from which life emerged. According to the popular creation myth of evolution, however true or untrue that might be, our earliest primordial ancestors evolved within the womb of the sea and then carried its memory forward into the bloodstreams that now spiral within us, delivering nutrients and life force throughout the ecosystem of our bodies, just as rivers do across the ecosystem of a landscape, carrying sediments and vitality into every valley and root system that they touch. As within, so without. As Dr. Alfred Pischinger wrote, highly specialized cells could only arise and survive in the primordial seas that fed and protected them. Nothing about this has changed to this day except that we now carry the primordial sea around within us. Your blood, lymph, cerebral spinal fluid, synovial fluid, tears, sweat, and even your breath are not isolated fluids, but interconnected tributaries of an inner ocean, a microcosmic hydrosphere that contains and sustains life at every level. You just borrowed this drop of water called the body from the watershed for one lifetime. But when you pass away and all that remains of your flesh is a pile of salt, your waters will return back to the watershed to flow through the web of all life once again, unifying everything. Think about your fascia that's over 80% water. It weaves through your body as an intelligent vibrating network that mirrors exactly the mycelial networks on the forest floor, delivering hydration and vibrational information into every cellular organism in your being, just like the mycorrhizal fungi deliver water and nutrients and energetic information to every tree, shrub, and blade of grass in the living earth. The extracellular matrix and lymphatic system in your body act like vast wetlands, filtering, purifying, and regulating this aquatic terrain, this aquatic ecosystem of your body, maintaining balance, just like wetlands do for rivers and streams, preventing stagnation and ensuring flow. Sweating and respiration mirror evaporation and condensation in the worldwide water cycle, cooling the body and cycling fluid between internal and external environment, while the miraculous capacity of your cells to produce deuterium-depleted metabolic water is perfectly mirrored by the freshwater springs that emerge from deep within the earth, welling up with perfectly hydrating freshness. You have every hydrological cycle in your body that the earth has, and what we do to water, we do to ourselves, as the waters inside of us are not separate from the waters outside of us. Just like a mother and her gestating child share a circulatory system, so too do we share a single hydrological system within our planetary mother. The microplastics that we empty into rivers and seas are now found in human blood and amniotic fluid. Just like a mother's blood disease can transmit directly to her fetus, so does the illness of the Earth's circulatory system permeate her children. So caring for the circulatory system of the Earth has to become our primary concern as human entities who are 70% water by volume, 99.9% by molecular count. We cannot tend to the health of our inner waters and then expect others to take the responsibility for Earth's waters, nor can we strive to heal the Earth's waters while neglecting the sanctity of our own inner waters. This is a one healing process. To heal, the mother heals the fetus. To heal, the fetus heals the mother. Now, if you're ready to apprentice to your inner oceans and learn the art of restoring coherence to your biowater, join us in the Internal Oceans e-course. It's a fascinating scientific journey for health practitioners, somatic explorers, and just human bodies of water and water keepers who wish to remember and really embody the vitality of being a fountain of living waters, a way that holy water can walk and dance instead of just flow, a human vessel of healing waters in every vein, artery, and cell. It's like Nobel laureate Dr. Alexis Carrel said when he demonstrated in his astonishing experiments, the cell is actually immortal. It's only the fluid surrounding the cell that degenerates. And he was able to keep heart tissue alive in a lab for 3 decades just by immersing it in an oceanic environment of marine plasma. That should have shifted the paradigm of biology entirely. And yet, even now, mainstream science largely just regards water as a passive solvent, just an inert backdrop to biochemistry, when in truth, as Dr. Carly Nude wrote, aging and disease are just symptoms of the loss of structure and coherence in our cellular fluids. And as Dr. Ishihara Yumi said, aging is just the gradual process of drying out. It is the dissolution of the liquid crystalline matrices that are the true foundation of health versus aging. Dehydration isn't just thirst. It's the root of every chronic disease. You don't just need to drink more water. You need to become a fresh, clear, flowing fountain of crystalline water. And to comprehend this is to perceive the body for what it is, an exquisitely tuned aquatic terrain, a fractal hologram of Earth's hydrological systems, where each phase of water in the body reflects a phase of water on the planet. Quantum biology and hydrobiophysics are finally illuminating what indigenous wisdom keepers have always known. As Dr. Mei Wan Ho described, there is a dynamic liquid crystalline continuum of connective tissues and extracellular matrix linking directly into the equally liquid crystalline cytoplasm in the interior of every single cell in the body. Every part is in communication with every other part through a dynamic, tunable, responsive, liquid crystalline medium. Every molecule of water is connected to every other molecule, just like every body of water, from a human body of water to a lake or an aquifer, is connected to every other body of water, all of which exist as organisms within the greater hydrological cycle of our Mother Earth. Just like each watershed within your body is equally a part of your larger body of water organism, equally alive and connected to the whole. And when the inner waters are structured and vibrant, they form a battery of hexagonal crystalline fractal antennae capable of capturing, storing, and transmitting energy, light, and information in a living symphony of coherence. And when those inner waters are stagnant, depleted, destructured, or deuterated, that harmony collapses, and with it, the health of the entire organism. As within, so without. As above, so below. The same is true of entropy within your body, as is true of entropy within the greater wholeness of our blue planet as a water body itself. And the implications of this are staggering. The World Health Organization reports that 80% of disease worldwide is caused by unclean drinking water. And emerging research suggests that even the remaining 20% of disease is tied to biowater quality and its structural integrity. Chronic dehydration, often invisible even to those of us who drink copious amounts of water, is the hidden pandemic of our time, silently unraveling our vitality at its very root. Because water is life. And so if you wish to promote life and support life within your body or within the earth, you must center the primacy of water's health first and foremost. Because when water is healthy, we are all healthy. It's Occam's razor, right? The simplest solution is usually true. And in a body that is 99.9% water molecularly and 70% water volumetrically, which is as true of our bodies as it is of the body of our Mother Earth, the simplest solution is that if something goes off balance, check the water first. This philosophy of hydrobiology calls us to awaken from our amnesia and remember that we are not fixed lumps of matter, but we are flowing rivers and fertile wetlands and sentient springs and shimmering aquifers, that each of us is a temporary vessel for water to walk upon the earth before returning to the great planetary cycle once again. We are aqua sapiens, stewards of the sacred inner waters, and to heal them is to live with energy, vitality, longevity, immunity, and to be clearer vessels of the Holy Spirit. To heal them is to heal the waters of the earth herself. To begin this journey of remembrance and repair, explore with me the Internal Oceans e-course. It's available at www.waterislife.academy. This is the literal architecture of life. What we do to our internal waters, we do to the waters of the earth, and what we do to the earth's waters, we do to ourselves. We are still within water's womb. To heal the body is to heal the planet. To heal the planet is to heal the body. The question is not whether we will remember. The question is when. And this is the most crucial part of transitioning into the age of Aquarius, transitioning from the age of Pisces, where we swim like fish, completely unaware of the waters that we're made of, the fish being the age of Pisces, and transition to the age of the water bearer, Aquarius, where we consciously and conscientiously wield the sacred responsibility of being water carriers. And this begins with recognizing that we are water beings, and that there is a fractal holographic mirroring of the waters within and the waters without. The waters are what weave us into the oneness of the web of life, and that tending to the waters is our most sacred duty and responsibility. This is what allows us to transition consciously into the age of Aquarius. And I pray that you will be a part of this worldwide water awakening. Because if you want to heal your body and the planet, start with your inner ocean. Dive into the Internal Oceans e-course to learn more. Thank you for your generous time and attention today. If you learned something new or if this struck a chord with you, please comment below about what resonated and share this with other bodies of water who would enjoy it too. I'll see you inside the Internal Oceans e-course. Be well and be water, my friend.